you live from Tennessee, from the east to the west. We are talking Cowboys everything. And you've just entered
the Cowboy Zone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Cowboy Zone. I'm your co-host Marcus Jones, coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee.
And this is Lambo from Cowboys, y'all, out of Johnson City, Tennessee.
Okay, guys, I see we got a lot of people coming in quick. Thank you guys for joining us. We have a great show tonight. I'm super excited about this one because, believe it or not, I've never done a mock draft before. I normally just scout people I like and go off the draft. So this will be my first mock draft. On top of that, we got some of our favorite and most loyal viewers who are coming on the show with us live to do this mock draft with us. So I'm super excited about this one, Lambo. How about you?
Yeah, man, I can't wait. It's going to be fun, and especially getting to just have viewers participate.
Right.
You don't really see that happening on a lot of shows, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, we see them in the comments all the time, but now you get to see them face to face and hear what they got to say firsthand. Before we start, Jack Meeker, thank you for joining. Definitely, this should definitely be a fun episode. I see William Coulter has a fan base joining us in the comments. So thank you guys for joining us. Wherever you're watching from, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you follow. All right, Lambo, I know you do a lot of mock drafts, so how do you think these guys are gonna do?
Well, I mean, you see if anyone watches the comments, well, they don't see the same comments we see. We see it across all of our platforms together, but if you focus on the comments during Cowboy Zone, it seems like one of the most educated, set of viewers you could find, man. For real. Yeah. The guys know their stuff. It's awesome. Really, I mean, sometimes they carry the show for us because great questions, great feedback, everything. So I think it'll go real well.
I'll be honest. I was a little bit intimidated to bring these guys on because I didn't want them to steal our thunder. But at the Cowboy Zone, we're all about engagement, and we want to make sure that everybody gets to be involved. So, without further ado, I'm about to bring the entire gang in before we get this mock draft started.
What's up, Lamar? What's going on, man?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Cowboy Zone?
Y'all can talk right now. We good.
What's up, guys? Cowboy Zone. We in this.
What's up, everybody?
In zone.
What's going on? So before we start, again, I just want to personally say thank you guys for all participating in this. I know you all have kids, you all have families, you all have a lot of prior engagements, and to take an hour or so out of your day to do this, we really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man.
Thank you.
No problem for sure.
All right, so I guess we're about to get into it. Lamar, thank you for joining us, and guys, keep those comments coming. Make sure you like this. Make sure you share it to your personal page, share it to your favorite group, subscribe. Let us know what you think about their picks.
And I believe, Marcus, you said that this is going to be completely random. You're going to pick it.
Completely random.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure.
Let me put the rules out there first before we get started.
All right, let's get these rules.
I'm going to take everybody off.
You have to go over the rules again.
Okay, I'm going to take everybody off the screen in a minute, and I'm going to bring you all back one at a time. And you get 2 minutes to make your pick. After we get the four picks, we'll take a quick break, kind of review where we are, and then we'll come back again and do the next 4 picks. Once we get past 8 picks, Lambo or I will make the 9th pick, and then we'll all do 10 together.
Sounds like a good plan.
So yeah,
Jeff, I know the feeling, Jeff.
I'm trying to get them. Never mind. Never mind.
I do it every single show. If you watch me I got a mute button on my microphone. Marcus will be talking. You'll see my hand slide down and mute, and I'll be like, shut up.
I'm trying not to use that language.
Oh my God. If you look at the icon at the bottom, you'll see a little microphone by your head. if you feel like you need to mute, just go ahead and mute for a second.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah. All right, and guys in the comments, again, make sure you guys share this because this is our first mock draft, and these guys really know their stuff. So you're gonna learn a lot about the players that they pick. And on top of that, we want to get your comments to see if you want to give them a little bit of advice on who they should take. All right, so let me take everybody off the screen for a minute, and then we'll get this thing rolling. Okay, let me make sure I got all my names straight first.
Lamar, I'm cool with that.
As long as the first pick is Sertan, hey, it's completely up to them, Lamar. We have no say. Nobody knows where they're picking at, and we all have no clue what the other person's doing. So let me just go through my names real quick and make sure I got everybody's name. Dominic, Jeff, Mendoza, William. Okay. All right. So let me do this random choosing of the first pick. And I believe with the first pick, wrong name. William Coulter.
I was trying to do the pick is in music. I can't remember how it goes.
I actually have it, but I can't pull it up right now.
That's all right.
I have it saved on my computer. I'll try to transfer it over before we get to pick 4.
All right.
All right. So, William, before we start, we want to let the people know who you are. So let them know where you're from, how long you've been a Cowboy fan, and who's your all-time favorite player.
All right, hey guys, my name is William Coulter. I'm from Annapolis, Maryland. Been a Cowboys fan ever since I can remember.
Okay.
One of the first memories I have is watching the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Yes, I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, same here.
Time. Favorite Cowboy? Probably Romo.
Okay.
I love
Romo.
That's cool.
Just everybody's always hated him his whole career, and I feel like I'm always fighting for him.
Yeah. I think we all do that, and now we're doing it again with Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a pick of the beast. All right, so let's get this thing rolling. William, we will give you 2 minutes on the clock to make your pick for the New York Jets. And before I put the time on the clock,
I thought Jackson.
I'm sorry. As you can see, guys, this is live, and accidents can happen. But
Jets are
start,
the Jets were about to get excited.
They were.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody asked a question. Oh yeah, Shane. With the first one, we're not doing any trades. This one is straight up. And mock draft 2.0, we may throw some curveballs in there, but for this one, we want to try to keep it straight up. So your time starts now, William. You got 2 minutes.
All right, guys. The first pick in the draft is probably the hardest pick in the draft.
All right.
Jacksonville could go with so many people, it's ridiculous. The mayor of Jacksonville personally came out and thanked the Jets for winning. I mean, that's how static they are.
Yeah.
6 years, they've never had the first pick.
So are they going to use their first pick wisely today?
Oh, yeah. It's no question. It's not even close.
So what do you think of their top 3 needs?
I think quarterback is their top need.
Okay. All right. So that kind of narrows it down a little bit. You got 1 minute.
I mean, I guess they need some help at O-line. They still need a number 1 receiver.
Yep.
I mean, all across the board on defense. I mean, they're struggling. But they do have 11 picks in this draft to really help with that, and 19 over the next 2 drafts.
Yeah, and there's one guy that's
including 4 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm. And there's a guy sitting there that's probably not. They're not going to be able to pass over.
Yep.
I mean, they just signed Urban Myers like an hour ago, so I mean, they're turning over a new leaf.
So with Urban Meyer, does that make the quarterback choice a little bit more difficult because he has an Ohio State background?
No. I think Urban Myers is a smart guy and is hands down who he's going to pick.
All right, so we got 18 seconds, so it sounds like we're pretty close to getting that pick underway.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
So
locked and
we got
loaded.
the
It
first,
shouldn't even take as long. It should already been in. No
all right, so
question.
we got the first pick then, William.
I hate that in the draft when they take 15 minutes when everybody knows who you're picking.
Right. So let us know who you got. Time is up. Let us know who you got with pick number 1.
All right, first pick in the draft, Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson.
All right.
Definitely. That's definitely the way it's going to happen.
Yay! Oh, hands down. I mean,
All the-
this guy has it all. I mean, he just has it all.
Yeah.
There's not one bad thing you can say about him.
If I was him, I'd be more happy to be going to Jacksonville than New York with the Jets.
Oh, by far. Jacksonville is more set up in 2-3 years to be a playoff contending team than the Jets.
All right. So William, thank you for your pick. We're about to get you out of here, and we'll bring you back in a few minutes to make your next pick. So until then, we will go to our pick number 2, and with pick number 2, we will be going with.
Like they can't see me.
Oh, we see you now, Mendoza, because you're on the spot at pick number 2. Well, while Mendoza moves his camera, we'll move to someone else.
I was gonna say, yeah, sorry guys, this lighting was not working. Yeah.
You're good. Like I said, we're live, so things happen. So we'll go to someone else and we'll come back to you. All right. So with pick number 2, you technically just got traded up, Jeffrey Dunnigan.
So we got our first trade in the draft, huh?
Yep. Unofficial trade.
I got you.
All right. So Jeff, you're making pick 2 with the Jets. Now this one is actually the hard one to me because
It is.
quarterback is not guaranteed.
Right.
And
I agree.
and they need a lot of help because they're a bear team.
Yeah.
So before we start, let them know where you're from, how long you've been a Cowboy fan, and who's your favorite player.
All right, guys. My name is Jeffrey Dunnigan. I'm originally from Sardis, Mississippi. Currently reside in South Haven, Mississippi, with my wife and my 2 kids. Been a Cowboy fan since about '89. I went through a stage where I was a Raiders fan. I was
I never knew that.
yeah. That's just as a child, you just pick a cool team or something like that, a team that you think was cool. But then I started listening to my dad, and then he's been a Cowboy fan since probably the '60s when they first came on, and so he used to do a lot of hollering in the house when the game was on, and I just had to go see what he was talking about, and so I started watching the game with him, and that was right along the time they drafted Aikman, Irvin, and then Emmett, and I've been a fan ever since when the trip was. Yes.
Yep.
Back when you knew what was gonna happen, we were gonna pound you to death. The Wall of Dallas. Oh yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah.
All right, I'm just trying to pull up that NFL draft sound right now, so I was kind of turning my head.
Okay.
All right, so Jeff, you ready to get on the clock?
You missed one question. I gotta tell you who my favorite Cowboy was.
Oh, go ahead, do your thing.
I want to say my favorite Cowboy is the playmaker. Number 1 for his play on the field.
Yeah.
And number 2, for the energy and the drive he brought to the team. I think I compare him to what Dez Bryant was. Dez got a lot of slack because a lot of times they felt like he was on the sideline complaining and, doing other stuff like that. But most of the time he was trying to keep the team fired up. And you need that energy guy on your team that's going to keep everybody engaged. So I'm going to have to roll with the playmaker. Close second to Dion, but you got to roll with the playmaker.
What's crazy is Michael Irvin. Well, Michael Irvin's my favorite player all time, and my second favorite player all time is Tony Romo. And literally, that's what you said, Irvin, and William said, Romo. So the first 2 favorite players are actually my top 2 favorite players. That's funny.
Hey, I got you.
That's it.
And before we move on, Jeff, Victor Smith, thank you for joining us. Looks like a new name. Wherever you are, make sure you subscribe, Victor. Leroy Turner, thank you as well for joining us. And Claude Cox, thank you for joining as well. And it looks like Claude is already coming in, Jeff, give you a couple of tips on who he thinks you should take.
Okay.
I
I see that.
Get Sam Darnold some weapons. Now I don't know if you're gonna take his advice or not, but we're about to find out in a minute. So
Yeah.
let's put you on the clock and let's see what you got for us.
I feel like it's down to 2 other people with him.
Okay.
We'll see.
Jeff, let us know what you're thinking.
Well, it's hard to make that pick without them having a defined head coach. Most head coaches, when they come in, they want to have their guys. They're going to want to select people and players that they want to build their team around. And with that being said, Sam Darnold was a pick from the previous regime. Played good in some spurts. I think he got kind of a bad rep sometimes, but I honestly think that the Jets are going to try to move on from him. I think it's going to be a Josh Rosen type situation.
Okay.
Where they'll try to trade him off and get some picks. They're not going to get a first round pick. They're not going to probably get a second. They may get something third, fourth range, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to trade him off and start fresh. And get more picks to build this team. They have a lot of draft needs, as well as a lot of other teams. But you have key pieces that you build your team around, and I believe that their second pick in the draft is going to be a piece that's going to be the face of their franchise. That coach is going to want to come in and have a face of the franchise, and so I think that's the route that they're going to want to go. With their second pick.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're at 38 seconds, Jeff. So you want to make it now, or you want to tell us a little bit more about what the Jets might be thinking?
Well, like I said, they had an okay defense. It was kind of everybody whipping boy, but they got down in games so fast that their defense didn't really have time to really showcase what they were about.
Sounds like we might be going defense here. Okay,
they can go a number of routes.
All right,
but I'm gonna lean toward my philosophy and say that a coach is gonna come in with his guy, and the number 2 pick is gonna be Fields from Ohio State.
Hold on 1 second. So we got Jeff taking Justin Fields from.
Cox thought it was going to be Zach
Ohio
Wilson.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this question then, Jeff.
Okay.
Hold on for a second since we got the pick in. Let me know if you guys can hear this. All right. The pick is officially in. Justin Fields, Ohio State. So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. If we were doing trades, do you think they would trade this pick and go back a couple of spots and hopefully see if he would make it back a few?
Depending on the coach.
Okay.
Like I said, they have a lot of needs. So I could definitely see them trading that pick. I don't think they go no further than 5 because I think they're definitely going to take a quarterback. And if they trade back, they may not get Fields, but another quarterback that they consider in that top tier will be there. So if they could trade back 2 or 3 spots and pick up a couple of extra picks, I definitely think they would do that because they have a lot of holes on the team.
So Claude thought you were going BYU quarterback. Why did you go with Fields over Zach Wilson?
Look at the success that he's had. I think that I would kind of put him in the category of what you would consider a dual threat quarterback. Not that he ran the ball a lot, but I think the NFL with your Lamar Jacksons, your Josh Allens, these quarterbacks that can beat you running and throwing, Jalen Hurts, you want to have that threat of being able to run the ball. I think the day of having a pocket passer is all but gone, and more teams are going to go toward that. So they want that versatility.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
and Fields,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was say Fields led all FBS quarterbacks in percentage of accurate passes thrown beyond the line of scrimmage with 73.4% too.
Yeah.
A good
We
stat
bring
there.
everybody up. I'll let you know what I think about Fields. All right. Well, thank you, Jeff, for your pick. You can sit back and wait until these next 2 picks are made.
All right.
So now we'll bring back Mendoza, see if he's ready. Mendoza, you ready for it? All right.
Yeah.
So before we get started, let us know where you're from, how long you've been a Cowboy fan, and who's your favorite player.
My name's Elzar Mendoza. I'm from Fremont, Ohio. I've been a Cowboys fan just about all my life. So I'm 30 years old. So, but my favorite Cowboys player, gosh, I don't know that I have a particularly favorite one. I mean, when I first started really watching the Cowboys was kind of when Romo was around.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably had to say Marion though, Marion the Barbarian. Like there was times just watching him run, with the way he ran.
He was fun.
It was easy to fall in love with him.
Yeah, he was fun.
I see Cloud is in the comments pushing hard for Devontae Smith. But we're about to find out exactly who Mendoza thinks he's about to pick right now for the Miami Dolphins. We do have Tua there for now, so they could try to pair him up with his college teammate. But we'll find out in a minute what Mendoza thinks. So Mendoza, you are officially on the clock. Let us know what you think about the Miami Dolphins.
Well, first I'll say I did not want this pick. I specifically said that this pick was the most like they could just go any direction.
They really could.
I don't know anything about the Dolphins to say whether or not they want to keep Tua or what they want to do with that. But I still feel like it's early to like say. I feel like you gotta roll with him at least another year. I feel like they got the defense to get them places. They just need an offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, do you want to give Tua a weapon or do you want to protect him? I mean, you could go either way with that too. And yeah, there's two great options, and there's two great options for weapons too. Three really.
Yeah.
It's a lot of options. They did draft a left tackle last year, Austin Jackson, pick 19.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was out of USC, I believe it was.
Yep, out of USC. They could move him to right tackle and put Sewell at left and set their bookends up. Their wide receivers are all kind of hit or miss, so they could use another deep threat. We can see a defensive player right here. It doesn't have to be a corner necessarily.
You know what?
We got 28 seconds.
I think I know who I'm going to take.
All right, let us know what you got. Hold on a second. The pick is in.
With the third pick, the Miami Dolphins take Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama, Heisman Trophy winner.
I thought you was gonna go Sewell to protect the blindside. I really did.
Too.
I like it though.
I wanted to.
That was gonna make it interesting for Dominique, because I don't know if he thought Sewell would be there for. Gonna be interesting. And interesting fact about the Falcons: every player on their offensive line is a first round pick.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember them saying that going into our game last year.
Yeah.
Even more interesting fact: if the kid from Minnesota would have stayed on the team and been the starter, they would have been the first team in NFL history where all 11 players on offense were first-round picks. So it's crazy how much talent Atlanta has on that side of the ball. And that I should have said this for the Dan Quinn talk. Yeah, I should have said this for the Dan Quinn talk, because that lets you know how lopsided offense was to defense on that team. So don't try to put it.
It really does.
All right, so it's a good pick, good safe pick. They definitely need a receiver. You give your quarterback someone he has some familiarity with. So you had so many different directions you could have gone, and I think you made a good pick.
I think I did too. I know they have another pick that's like 12 or something like that. So maybe they can get one of those offensive linemen there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
They still have a chance to get one. All right, Mendoza. So thank you for making your pick. Just hold on for a minute and we'll be bringing you back so we can analyze everyone's pick. But until then, we bring up our last person for the first half of this draft, and that is Mr. Dominique White.
Man, I was hoping for that Miami pick.
Who would you have took if you had that Miami pick?
Oh man, there's always a draft surprise in the top 5 every single year, especially the last 3 years. And I think they would have done something that we haven't seen a team do necessarily. I mean, you've seen a team go ahead like Arizona and take a quarterback after they had just taken one. But I think the idea here would have been to go ahead and secure a quarterback, bring him in, let them compete. It's not to say to give up on Tua. You hold on to Tua, in my mind. And so you let those two duel it out, and then you think about future to do something with Tua, because I really do think Justin Fields could definitely beat out Tua, but I'm not so high on Wilson. So I'll just stop there because I don't want to steal my thunder on these next couple of picks.
So Claude, you keep pushing Zach Wilson for some reason, but it doesn't sound like you wish just yet. All right, so before we go into the pick, Dominique, let us know where you're from, how long you've been a Cowboy fan, and who's your favorite player.
All right, so I'm Dominique White. I reside in Belton, Texas. I'm from a little small town just outside of Belton. It's called Moody, Texas, repping my city, baby. Big old metropolis of 1,400 people. And so that's where I get my ghetto country slang.
Yeah.
I'm a school teacher at heart, but now I've moved up into the offices where I'm an administrator at an elementary school. Love kids, man. Just love to see them grow. Love to see them being educated and entertained. And I think that's what we're doing, and just in a different capacity with grown men who are just like boys, still at heart, loving this game of football. And so favorite Cowboy of all time would be one of those big handsomes up front. Go ahead and give me Zach Martin. I was wanting Zach Martin the whole time in that 2014 draft, either him or that number 99 guy out there in L.A. But once he went off the board, give me Zach. I'm a Notre Dame fan, and so love that pick. But player all time, though, I'd have to say Marshall Faulk, man.
Okay.
Yeah, growing up, I accidentally stole a hat from J.C. Penney. Shout out J.C. Penney. Didn't understand how the stores worked inside of a mall, so I had this hat in my hand, and it happened to be a Colts hat. And so at the age of 6, donning that hat, fell in love with the Colts. So they're my second team that I follow closely.
Okay. That's interesting. Colonel Bill, thank you for joining us and tuning in.
Colonel Bill, Emmett Smith.
Yeah. Shane Odom says he loves your Randy White jersey in the back.
Yeah, I like the Randy White.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something about that.
I already know what you're going to say.
Let me tell you something about that. Now, old school cats would dig at me and then question my knowledge. I don't know anything about the 70s and 80s. I didn't watch it. I wasn't born then. I'm an 86 baby. And so in my mind, I'm really repping that 54 for Jalen Smith. I am a Smith fan from the time he was in high school, thinking that my name is on the back because I really don't want to wear another man's name on my back. Yeah. So really it's an ode to Jalen Smith.
When you told me you were a Notre Dame fan, I already knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I knew you got his jersey with your name on the back. So quick question about that helmet up there. Did you play ball at Marshall or is that like
hey, I was the perfect high school athlete. Okay. My traits were not going to translate over into college. I had some D3 and Division II at that time schools looking at me at center, but I chose to go the education route. That's my hometown Moody right there, those Bearcats.
Okay. Boy, we have a similar background. I was the same way. I even played center in school.
Yeah. Quarterback of the team.
Yeah, exactly. Got to know your stuff. We almost always go education if we don't play football. All right, so let's get back to it. It is your turn to make your pick. So I'm going to put the 2 minutes on the clock. And you let us know what you're thinking about the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this is one of those picks where I really do think Atlanta would be trying to bail at this point. I know a lot of folks want to go ahead and give up on Ryan at quarterback. Yeah. And it seems like that would make sense to go ahead and have a fire sale and start selling off those parts to accumulate some draft capital, and even some cap space to get some cheaper players in. They may go that route. It seems like they are going to go that route. We'll see. I think Julio is the one that you'd first try to go ahead and unload for that team. And I know that's going to hurt a lot of Falcons fans who are diehards to see a homegrown player like that, especially right there in your backyard all these years, even going back to his college days and high school days. He's a Southern boy at heart. But that Matt Ryan thing, man, this is a tough one. They could go ahead and try to secure his replacement to put that person on the team. Yeah, kind of even like the whole idea that Kansas City did with Mahomes, taking him at 10, and you still had Alex Smith on that tank team as Mr. Management. Again, big-time surprises in this top 5 each year. I saw a tackle last year go first before the other 3 that I had above him, and Andrew Thomas going to those darn Giants. The needs for Atlanta would be an edge rusher. They need a linebacker. They need a cornerback. Sounds familiar. Cowboy.
Right.
Defense. Any layer, any level on that defense. And just thinking about the value of this pick here makes it quite tough. Do you really want to go one of these defenders this high?
10 seconds. Is the pick in?
I think the pick is in.
All right.
Woo! With the 4th pick in the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons select quarterback.
Okay.
From BYU.
BYU.
Zach Wilson.
There it is.
All right, Claude, are you happy now? Zach Wilson is off the board. I like that pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick for them.
Go ahead, Lambo. Sorry.
I was gonna say get ready for the future, man.
Yeah. You know, the big thing here to me is you do go ahead and secure that replacement for Matt Ryan, and then you can do whatever you want to do with Ryan in the next couple of years. He can kind of play a pseudo bridge player, and then you try to get the best value out of him as far as on the field or in a trade scenario. I think you would definitely try to trade him after the draft. You wouldn't try to do something before because you want to make sure you have somebody that's going to be at that quarterback position. Pure tanking at its essence doesn't happen in the NFL. We can play around with that. Yep. So you want to go ahead and get on that field with as much competitors as you can, and he would be the best option to do the best next year if you can't secure one of these top quarterbacks in this draft.
I do have an uneasy feeling looking at the Eagles sitting there at 6 with the possibility in this draft to get Sewell or Chase. I don't like that.
Or the Bengals. Well, let me bring everybody else back for a second.
I do not want Eagles getting either of them.
So we are halfway done with Mock Draft 1.0 top 10 picks. Thank you guys who are all joining us so far. Make sure you share this because we're only halfway done with this draft. Still got a lot of good draft talk to go through. So at this point, Lambo, let me know what you think about these top 4 picks. What do you think
I think they all make sense. I mean, I'm completely on board with what everyone's picks were. Positions of need, man. Some of the best players available at positions of need. I completely agree there. I just can't stop staring at the Eagles and being upset about the guys that are going to slide right to them.
Yeah.
Eagles are going to get somebody.
They're going to get somebody real good.
Yeah. I had Miami getting 12.
Okay. I'm shocked he's still on the board.
I feel like at 18 they can get like a Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, not Waddle.
For me,
but they can get someone good at there though. I think. Yeah. I do think if I guess if it was me, that pick I probably would have went Sewell.
Yeah, I took Sewell.
I've been dipping into the fan bases sites for the Dolphins. Many of them want Sewell. Yeah. Sewell is the pick for them. And then after that, they're really wanting a receiver, and Devontae Smith pairing them up. And so that's going to be an interesting one to see. I think Miami really holds the keys to this top 10, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And like I think Shane
my-
made it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Miami came out last week and said Tua is a quarterback of the future.
Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that talk.
I almost a kiss of
I
death.
mean, come on.
Well, I think Shane made the comment, and I kind of agree with him. They tanked for Tua, so I think they're gonna give him a chance to kind of, they're gonna see what he's about. And I think that in the draft, if Sewell is there, they're gonna give him that tackle, to protect that blind side and kind of, just go from there.
I actually have a question for all of you.
Go ahead.
Yep.
What is it that a small guy like Tua does that's spectacular that would lead you to believe they truly want to trust in him, give the keys over to the franchise into his hands, where they wouldn't consider drafting a quarterback at this spot? What is it that he does so well where you're like,
Nothing.
all right, that's
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing that I can think
I don't
of.
like short quarterbacks. I don't like left-handed quarterbacks, and he's been pulled out of 2 games in 5.
But I
Yeah.
feel sorry for Tua. He's coming back from an injury that, COVID hits. It's like the worst case scenario for rookies coming into the league.
right. Again, give him time. And it's not that we're saying to give up on the young man,
Right.
but I just don't see the strongest of arm. I don't see a guy that's really even that elusive for the NFL.
Definitely.
And that size, man, it just continues to worry me for him. I hope him well. I wish him well. I think he'll be an okay quarterback, but man, that's going to be a tough one to me for Miami. I think they're either going to go quarterback or they're going to try to bail and accumulate some picks.
Now, Mendoza, I'm with you with the Dolphins.
They got
pick.
picks.
I may have leaned towards quarterback just because I'm not a big Tua fan. But if I wasn't taking quarterback, I would have gone Smith like you, because at pick 12, there are probably about 3 tackles that you can take that are starters. So you get that good.
I debated quarterback there, but I can't give up on Tua yet.
It's 18.
It's 18. You can still
18?
get a tackle.
I thought it was 12 for some reason.
You can still get a tackle.
Don't they have 3 picks in the first round? Or
Yeah,
no?
2.
Do they have 3 picks in the first round?
No,
Oh, they have 2.
2.
Okay.
But
Pick
you can
3.
still get a tackle. You can get the kid from USC. Slater might be there. You never know. The kid from Texas might be there. Yeah. Darrisaw might be there. I mean, there are going to be tackles. You got your left tackle last year, so you're getting the right tackle. So you're good. And you give Tua that weapon because he obviously needs as much help as he can get.
Yeah, and the fact that his receivers can't stay healthy also, that plays into that. Because Devontae Parker, when healthy, is one of the most lethal receivers in the league, but he just can't stay healthy. So you would hope that Smith will stay healthy.
Yeah. Let me say this before we get back into it. Me and Claude don't normally agree on stuff. Jeff, you know that. But I would have to agree with him on Zach Wilson. I really like Zach Wilson. And I'm not as high on Fields as other people because I haven't seen Fields make a lot of NFL throws. Now, when I say that, people will point me to the game against Clemson. He threw 6 touchdowns. He threw them. They were great. All of those touchdowns were 5-step drop, heave it as far as you can, and the wide receiver gets under it. You don't do that in the NFL every week. I've seen Zach Wilson, along with Trevor Lawrence, throw 8-yard outs, throw quick hitch plays, which is a lot harder than you would think it is in terms of timing. He throws the slants. He scrambles one way, gets his feet set, and throws it deep. Stuff like that I really like about him. So if I were taking a quarterback, I'm just not that high on Fields. I mean, he could come out like Mahomes, because I wasn't really high on him because I never saw him really make those throws either. So he could come out and surprise me, but
I wish I would have remembered the commenter's name from a couple of posts that I made ago in one of our groups that we're always chatting it up. But somebody mentioned how now it seems like in the last 3 drafts, teams are starting to go towards quarterbacks that really have been in situations where they didn't have the greatest of the greatest talent around them, but it allows teams to really see what they're like with uplifting those around them. Kind of thinking about Dak Prescott, for example, when he was at Mississippi State. He didn't have the best tools and weapons around him, but he raised everybody else's level above him. And then it just made me think, like, the old thing about looking at college quarterbacks was to look at their completion percentage. Anytime you saw somebody under 60%, it was done. You were over, which made me kind of look at Josh Allen upside the head a few years ago and go, ooh, weed. Oh,
wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Josh Allen won me a fantasy. Yeah, he won me a fantasy league. And I
exactly. But in college, you go look at his stats, and he's like 56% complete, 58%, 52%. And it's, ooh, do you really want to go there? But then you see the arm, you see the size, you see the strength of a guy like that, the mental makeup, and you're starting to see some of that out of Wilson. And so can you clean some things up about him? Can you get that under control and just give him another year under somebody like Tua or Matt Ryan and just let him go at it? Maybe New York Jets will decide to go ahead and take him. But he's one of the more interesting players in this draft, and he's going to upset this whole order, I believe, in his first 5 picks.
Yeah. All right. So Mendoza, you're over there in the corner. Since it looks like everybody was kind of bagging on your pick, is there one pick in the top 4 that you would have done differently?
The Jets. I don't think they go with Justin Fields. I think they're going to try and see what Darnold has for another year.
Okay. So who do you think the pick will be right there if it's not Fields?
For the Jets?
Yeah.
The same person I just took for Miami. I would have gave him DeMonte Smith.
Okay.
What? No.
Just giving him some major talent. Him and Denzel Mims. Crowder.
I mean, is Devontae Smith even the best receiver in the draft?
I don't think
debatable.
I don't
think
think
it's debatable.
It's very debatable.
I think
it's
people
very
just
debatable.
see that championship
maybe.
game and the Heisman Trophy, and that's all.
I mean, I know, but Alabama players always have these huge stats because they're all A+ recruits. Like Mac Jones.
Yeah.
You were talking about quarterbacks with 56%. Well, Mac Jones has 70%. Well, is that because he's with all these all-stars, or is it because he's just that good?
Right.
It'd be interesting to see who goes
Mac
if Chase sneaks ahead of him or if Smith goes first.
But I will say Smith last year had 1,200 yards and like 15 touchdowns, and he was the third receiver.
He was the third receiver, right?
Yeah.
And the guy on the team went number
Judy and Ruggs.
15.
Yeah, with Judy and Ruggs. I mean, so yeah, who knows?
Smith is talent. You can't deny his talent. I just don't see a receiver going second in the draft. I just
Second, I know. I don't see him going
hard.
second.
It would be wild. I don't.
It would
I don't know
definitely
what
shake
the
the draft.
highest receiver's ever gone.
I mean, last receiver go second was Calvin Johnson.
It was Megatron,
Really?
right? Second.
Okay.
Yeah, Megatron.
If I had to guess, I would probably say it's Megatron.
I think it was him.
Yeah,
I might
the
be
size
wrong,
difference
but
between those two is pretty crazy.
I think Julio went about 4 or 5.
I'm not expecting Jamar Chase to run a fast 40, honestly. I think that's going to hurt him. And I expect Devontae Smith to blow the combine out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see Marlo says Smith is a little light in the pants. That doesn't concern me too much in today's NFL.
Yeah.
If you have a coordinator, they can move him around.
Yeah.
He's really like.
And they gonna beef him up when he get to the NFL.
I mean, hey, Lamb looked a little light out there this year.
Yeah.
And he
did.
did great.
When that first game, he looked scrawny.
He did.
Yeah. He looks little.
Yeah.
And meat and potatoes diet is what they're gonna put him on.
No, man. Lamb seems like a lollipop, man.
Yeah, he's skinny, man.
That big old helmet of his, you go back and look at those pictures of him or the videos of him at OU, it's like, man, that boy got a XXX head and a small jersey. But he be moving, man. He just so smooth.
Yeah, and he takes hits, too, and just pops right back up.
Right back up. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're at 45 minutes, so I'm going to have to take everybody out, and we're going to move ahead and get these last 4 picks out of the way. Thank you guys all for your comments. And
Now,
move ahead to the next 4.
this one's got to be a given.
You think so?
If it's not Sewell, I don't even know. It's got to be.
I don't know. I can go another spot right here myself.
The man Joe Burrow. They got T. Higgins.
They have some decent receivers though, Lambo.
I know.
And they did draft they drafted a tackle either last year or the year before as well. But it never hurts to have another bookend. So let's see who we go with at pick 5. All right. So at pick 5, let me see if I got all the names here. I think we will come back with Mendoza. You are on the clock with the Cincinnati Bengals. You got a lot of options to go right here.
Yeah.
A lot of guys people thought would be gone by now are still here. And let me start the clock up, and you can do your thing.
All right. Well, like Lambo said, this is a pretty easy pick. Pretty obvious. I mean, you just got your franchise quarterback last year, and he was having a pretty good season up until what happened. And why did that happen? Because they're not protecting him. So I think with the 5th pick in this draft, the Cincinnati Bengals take Penei Sewell.
Boom. Is
No
Claude
brainer.
happy? Is Claude happy in the
Hey,
comments?
Claude, are you still there? I know you're a Bengals fan. How do you feel about the Sewell pick? Was this pick easier than Trevor Lawrence, Mendoza? You think?
Yeah, definitely. I
Think
think
so?
Penei Sewell was, I think, their guy. I think that's who they're targeting. And if it were to fall anything like this, that's just a win for them.
Yeah, like
Hey, 6'6", 325. Put him in there. Let him work.
like Jerry Jones said about Connor McGovern, it's that blinking light right there. You just see the name, and it's like you just got to take him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta.
It's crazy, man. I'm reading some of the notes I had on him in a 95.8 PFF grade in 2019. It's the highest graded season by a Power 5 tackle since 2014. You talk about his size, 6'6", 325, and he earned a 95.7 grade as a run blocker in 2019 as well. That's just talent, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid's a beast.
Are you shocked he didn't go higher right here, Mendoza?
Yeah, actually. And I think the Bengals would be just as shocked as I am, and when they'll be also happy to write his name on the card and hand it in.
So if this happened in the real draft, do you think they would even consider a trade?
If this happened in this draft and Penei Sewell is there, they're not trading. No, it's going to be him, no doubt in my mind.
Okay, slam dunk. Hey, I can't say I disagree with that.
Now, this next pick, no matter who it is probably going to make me want to throw up a little bit in my mouth.
All right, so Mendoza, hang tight. We'll bring you back in a minute to make that pick number 10. But until then, we'll come up with our next person, and that is William Coulter. Welcome back.
I don't want the dirty birds.
Pick a kicker.
Yeah, I know.
I
You know how much I look into the draft needs? None.
Well, pretty much whatever you can think of, that's what they need.
Yeah, I know.
I say Jeffrey, is he going to be back next year for them? Deshaun, he's getting old, banged up. Deshaun Jackson's aging. They got Jalen Reagor, the young guy.
Shane Oldham will Kellen Moore be picked for the Eagles?
Yeah.
That remains to be seen, Shane.
Oh, man. Yeah, that Kellen Moore news.
No way Kellen Moore stabs Jerry in the back like that. No way.
We'll talk about that in a minute after the
No way.
draft.
Be a stab right in the back.
Marlo thinks Surtain may be the pick right here. We don't know. So let's go ahead and put you on the clock, William, and let's see what you got for us in terms of this pick. All right, it's on you. Tell us what you're thinking with the Eagles.
The Eagles right now are a shit show. I mean, they have nothing. They just fired their coach who just won them a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Didn't see that happening.
Yep.
I mean, Wentz went completely garbage. I don't even know who the quarterback is next year.
Know an interesting fact about the Eagles? They didn't have a quarterback coach either. So if they bring in a new coach, they got to bring in a quarterback coach too.
Oh, they didn't have a quarterback coach?
No, they didn't have a quarterback coach the past 2 years.
That's
No wonder Wentz declined.
Yep, Matt Nagy was the quarterback coach. He did the job with Chicago, and they didn't replace him.
I mean, regardless of who the quarterback is, I mean, the quarterback needs help, but their defense needs help too. I mean, I don't know. This is a tough one.
Victor Smith is the kid from Miami. I guess he's talking about Gregory.
Gregory. Yeah, I like Gregory.
You got a lot of options, William. So
yeah, I mean, if I was the Eagles, I know who I would pick.
I do too.
All right, is the pick in already? You got it for us?
I mean, I know who I would pick if I was the Eagles.
All right, well, I think the pick is in a little early. Let us know what you're thinking, William.
Tell you right now, I saw something on a list radio the other day. It said the Eagles are not known for picking linebackers.
Oh my goodness!
Oh no.
Are we throwing a wrench in the draft right here?
I got the Eagles taking Jamar Chase.
Oh,
LSU.
Okay.
Wide receiver.
Jamar Chase is who I have them taking as well right here.
I think it's a no-brainer. They need help. They have to score points to win games.
I thought you were about to say Parsons when you said
I was too, and I still got this slight little dream that he slides to 10 and we go linebacker.
Okay.
That would be nice. I would really like that Parsons. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. So you think we get another season of Jaquette? Is that his name? The corner on the other side? Think we see him a little bit more this year? I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I don't trust how they develop receivers either. So I would love to see them get Chase and blow his career.
I mean, when's the last time they've had a receiver for a whole year? They're always hurt.
Yeah,
they always hurt.
You know what's crazy? Jamar Chase still ranks second among all college wide receivers over the last 2 seasons in explosive receptions of 15-plus yards against single coverage, despite not playing this year. He didn't even play this season, and he's still second over the.
That's why I said, is Smith even the best receiver in this draft?
If he played this
people
year,
people forget what he did.
It's what? Yeah, it's what's that? Recency bias.
Yeah. I mean, Chase sat out, and I think people just forget just how game-changing he was.
Like, how are you still second in 15-plus yards against single coverage and didn't even play this year? And that's over the last 2 seasons, so that's crazy, man. That's
all right,
crazy.
well, William, thank you for the pick. And guys, make sure you get back in the comments. Let us know what you think about what's going on so far. Give these guys some pointers on who you think they should take, because we're almost at the end of the draft. We're at 55 minutes. It's been rolling along well. These guys really know their stuff. They've really been bringing it. So we appreciate, again, all you guys for joining us. And William, hang tight for a minute. Once we get through these last 2 picks, we'll bring you back again. All right, so with the next pick, which is Detroit, I think we're going back with Dominique White once again for the Detroit Lions.
Man, if you're a Cowboys fan, this is one of the teams that you're worried above you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Atlanta had been in the last few years with us. A couple of other teams that have tried to jump ahead of us because they know how our brass, how they continue to pick. And so this is a tough one. This is a scary one for us.
All right, let me put you on the clock.
Unless they go wide receiver.
There's still some guys out there.
Because they do have 3 wide receivers hitting free agency.
Right.
All right, so walk us through it. Dominique, let us know what you're thinking about the Detroit Lions. Who are some of their top needs?
You know, you see a lot of people out there on draft Twitter talking about the idea of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same thing I mentioned about Matt Ryan earlier, to go ahead and try to find that replacement for Matthew Stafford, which to me is crazy that they would start to think that way. I know what is he, about 33 years old?
33.
Still at 33 nowadays, man, you still got a good 3 or 4 solid years ahead. And I don't know if you use those anomalies of the Tom Brady's of the world to try to go along with him playing another decade, but their draft needs mirror ours. They are exactly like the Dallas Cowboys. They need a linebacker. They need offensive tackle to consider to help with the depth of that offensive line, and also they need an interior lineman, D lineman. They can even use a cornerback. So that's the interesting thing there. Would they go back-to-back years and drafting a cornerback in the top 10? Last year, they went with Jeff Okudah at the number 3 spot, I believe it was. And so would you pair someone up with him on the outside? So that's when you start thinking about the Patrick Surtains of the world. You think about Caleb Farley.
What about his high school? What about his college teammate?
Exactly. So what do we do? What do we do here? I really do. Yeah, man. I think the pick is in with him. All right.
All right. Let us know what you think.
What is this? With the 7th pick of the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions will select. I think they go Caleb Farley, man.
Okay.
Oh,
Cornerback from Virginia Tech.
that hurts a little.
Yeah.
Not that far away, guys. Still got some hope if you want corner, if that's who you like. I don't think we all do.
There's 2 guys sitting there that I really like still.
There's a couple guys I like there. So that's a good pick, though. I like getting your bookends, going outside in on your defense. You get 2 shutdown guys. That does help up front. I don't know if offensively, I don't really see anybody that's like a blinking light that's saying, I got to take him over one of these corners. I know you're big on Rashawn Slater, Dominique.
Yeah.
See that right there?
I was about to say that's where I would disagree with you. I think he is a solid left tackle in NFL. I could go over tape after tape, clip after clip, clip after clip, the little nuanced things that he does to even maximize the length that he does have, though it's a red flag. But he knows little things to do to draw that player into him without overextending and getting top heavy. And I've just seen him time and time again against some of the bigger names that the Big Ten has thrown at him. He just neutralized those dudes. So, who?
Zach Bond, Wisconsin.
Okay. Everybody has I will say that everybody has that one player that'll get him. And you know how each draft players are asked that, like, who's that one player that gave you fits or that you had great respect for? And you'll see like a lot of SEC guys pick somebody outside of their conference, and you're like, what? Really? That guy? Or somebody from the Big Ten who may pick some lower level school that actually got after them. So there's always somebody that'll give you fits.
Yeah. I watched about 5 of his games. He only had what I would consider 2 real competition games. And that was Ohio State and Wisconsin. He looked great in one, not so great in the other one. Who did I miss out on?
Okay, so I know everybody draft Twitter talks about him and Chase Young in 2019. Everybody talks about that one. He did great.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'll get past that one. I won't just use that one. But you do go to Ohio State 2018 and watch what he did with a younger Chase Young, and also who was the other guy on the outside? Anyway. No, Bosa didn't get to play with him because Bosa would have had already decided to give it up after he got hurt.
Okay, you're right.
But you go see them play against Iowa. Iowa had a kid named
Espinoza.
not just AJ Espinoza, but there's another guy on the outside, Vander Vleckenberg or something. It's some weird name. But just to watch what he did with both of those guys who had way more length, they were considered powerful guys. Some of those better edge rush, where they're more of good edge defenders as far as the run is concerned.
Yeah,
he just overpowered those dudes over and over. So you go watch that Iowa tape.
I'll go watch it.
AJ Epinesa had nothing for him.
I'll watch it.
And that was the game that I realized Epinesa is not a first rounder.
Yeah.
When everybody else were touting him as that early on.
I think we'll still agree to disagree on this one. He's an elite guard. If you put him at guard, he may come in the league and make a Pro Bowl. Or all pro. There's no question about that.
Is it the length that gets you?
Hips.
The hips?
Yeah. He reaches a little bit sometimes. He reaches a little bit.
Man, I see a bowed back. I see the kick step. I see a wide base. I see a guy that's able to one arm guys down the midline. That's what he did to Young over and over. And like I said, the little nuance to bring him a little closer with the right, while kind of it looks like a hold. It looks like a hold. But to get that shoulder pad, he knows what he's doing. He's got that shock factor with his head. I'm trying to get you to come on over to the Slater side.
I'm very high on him. I've just seen a few plays where it seems like he kind of cheats a little bit with his hips, and the guy gets inside of him a little bit too much.
I get it.
I'm nitpicking.
I get it. We both are.
Elite guard. Elite. All pro. But left tackle, unless he goes to a team that runs a West Coast, or a team that gets rid of it really fast, like Isaiah Wilson with the Patriots, that I'm concerned about a 7-step drop team. That's just my opinion. But we can go back and forth on that one all night. But
next pick.
All right,
let's get him.
And thank you, Dominique, for that. So last but not least, we come back with Mr. Jeffrey Dunnigan with pick number 8, Carolina Panthers. Have you been sitting around contemplating, Jeff, since you had a little bit of time to see what?
And I'll be the first to say I hate the pick. I hate taking this pick because only one Carolina Panther fan I know in the world, and that's my boy Bud.
Yep.
And
we just on the clock real quick.
Yeah, I just really don't follow the Panthers at all. But I will say this:
they're good at receiver.
Yeah, they're good at receiver, and this pick is going to depend on what they're going to do with Teddy Bridgewater. Is he going to be their quarterback for the foreseeable future? Or they're gonna, try to maybe go a different route in a few years.
And to have the explosive receivers they have, and see how bad he was downfield passing.
And I'm looking at the team. You got a nice 1-2 punch with McCaffrey and Mike Davis. I don't know if Davis is going to be back this year. I hadn't looked to see was he a free agent or anything like that.
They have Ohio State that they can put back at running back.
They have a lot of areas secured on their team. I know their defense kind of got a bad rep as far as people being able to run on them. Their pass defense was pretty good this year from looking at fantasy first. But I think if this pick, I'm going to throw a wrench in the game. And as a Cowboy fan, I'm going to hate this pick. But I'm looking at their team, and I'm going to the offensive side of the ball. And I'm looking to see where the weakness is on offense. And like I said, this pick is going to depend on what they're going to do with Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy played pretty good last year. He had some games where he was a little off, where you could tell he didn't really trust his surgically repaired knee. But for the most part, he played pretty well with the weapons he had. And so I'm not going to sit here and hold us longer.
Hold on a second. I think the pick is in.
Pick is in. And the wrench that I'm going to throw in the game for the draft is At pick number 8, I think Carolina is going to further solidify their offense and select Kyle Pitts.
You mean Kyle Trask, quarterback from Florida?
No,
Kyle Pitts, tight end.
Kyle Pitts. I thought you said Pitts.
Pitts from
Kyle
Florida.
Pitts. Okay.
They're going to have a decent receiving core. They got their running back set up. They got a serviceable quarterback. I think he fits right in and give them another weapon when they get down to the red zone. I hate that pick as a Dallas Cowboy because I really, really want us to get him. But I think he fits them over.
I like the pick because, I mean, I think they could go quarterback, or that I could see that happening too. As much as I like Kyle Pitts, I don't think the Cowboys would take him with how Dalton Schultz came on this season and with Blake Jarwin coming back under contract. I really don't. But that's just me. I think that just bumps the defensive guys down the board further for us, which excites me.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I would love the pick, but Schultz showed me a lot this year. If Jarwin can stay healthy, I'm pretty sure he can show us a lot, and he showed us some in the past. So I definitely don't think that we would go tight end at our pick, but it would be nice to add.
It would. Team 50 burger if you get him.
Exactly. We forget the defense, outscore us.
I'll say this. I love that pick for Carolina because they already have 2 extremely fast receivers on the outside, and now you just give Pitts the whole middle of the field without the safety being able to help.
And don't forget that you still got McCaffrey coming out of the backfield.
Still got McCaffrey coming out of the backfield.
Teddy's going to have to throw better, though.
Yeah.
They said he was 5th to last in uncatchable pass rate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Teddy,
those kind of weapons.
That's a great offense that they would have right there.
Yeah, really.
And that was if you believe in Bridgewater to be your quarterback for the foreseeable future, why not surround him with all the weapons you can?
Yeah, I agree definitely. All right, well, Jeff, thank you for the pick. Now let's bring everybody back once again and close this thing out. We're at hour 7. So far, we'll start with Dominique and go across. What do you think about the 4 picks that were just made? Sewell, Chase, Farley, Pitts.
I think player-wise, it makes sense. I would say that some other player needed to be up there. That doesn't bother me. I honestly do think this is where we have to consider not just the players in this year's draft, but you got to start thinking about 2022 draft and the prospects that are out there and team needs this year and team needs that are for the foreseeable future. So I really do think Carolina has a huge decision to make with Teddy Bridgewater. He is the perfect bridge quarterback. They have 2 more years with him on that deal, and you are alluding to that. So this is where if a Trey Lance is right there for you, they have to start to consider Trey Lance. I'm not into the Alabama quarterback. Too many weapons around him, make him look good. Trask is, I'm not going to say the easy word there. Exactly. Jamie Newman, he's an interesting one who's over at Georgia, used to be at Wake Forest. But that's a little bit later. I really do think Carolina starts to consider that quarterback option. Maybe they're thinking about trading for somebody. I don't know. But the guys that have been picked, they make sense.
All right, William, what do you think about the pick so far? Top 5 through 8.
I see Carolina. I mean, I know we can't trade, but I see them trading out of that pick. But Curtis Samuel, he's a free agent this year.
Yeah.
So that's only going to have more. So, I mean, taking a tight end, they definitely need weapons. But I can see them taking a Trey Lance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like 8 teams need a quarterback in the top 10.
Yeah.
And Broncos are happy as it gets right now at pick 9, looking at Trey Lance, I think.
So, Mendoza, me and you making pick 9. So, hold your comments on what you think about Denver right now. Mendoza, what do you think about 5?
Okay, got you.
Mendoza, you there with us?
Yeah. Play that again.
What do you think about the picks 5 through 8 so far? Anything you would have done differently?
No, I think that's pretty spot on.
Okay.
I would think that maybe the Lions would consider Micah Parsons, maybe. But
yeah, I definitely got them taking Parsons.
I also think the Lions could
Yeah,
consider a Jalen Waddle potentially.
That was
Yeah.
somebody that I thought they would take too.
We've seen them
But
go
I think
receiver
Farley is
happy.
perfect for them.
Okay. So Jeff, what do you think about the other 3 picks since you just made the last one?
I think all of them are pretty much spot on. Some of
Yeah.
them could have been interchangeable because one thing, the teams that are picking in the top 10 have a lot of needs. So I don't think any pick, unless they reach for a guy that's got a third round rate, a grade or something on them in the first, I don't think any of them be wrong. With the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be pressed because to me, the Eagles never had pretty good linebackers. And for them to make
our linebackers don't do they?
No, they don't. But if you could get that talent, if that linebacker there, I think they can go there. Right, they definitely need a corner because if they want to go, like you said, if they want to, go with Jaquette one more year, I love it. I mean, we could put Cedric Wilson out there on him, and he's gonna have a field day. I mean, but my heart of hearts are telling me that Philly's gonna have to go receiver. I think they've heard the Justin Jefferson talk. They heard us talk about CeeDee Lamb. They're going to want to try to catch one of these receivers to pair with Jalen Rager, even though they still got Fulgham and stuff there too. I think they might want to take.
They passed on DK too.
They missed him up.
Yep.
Yeah, they passed on a lot of. They passed on a lot of receivers, and going forward, I think the relationship between Carson Wentz and them is torn, so I don't think he'll be there. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback of their future, and so they're going to want to put some weapons around him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, we're at hour 12. So, with these last 2 picks, Lambo. So, we're going to let you make pick 9. And, guys, if you remember what I said, put who you would put for Dallas in the spot where your name would go, right here.
Okay.
So, Lambo, we're going to put you on the clock and let you tell us who you think the Denver Broncos are going to select.
Like I was saying, man, a minute not too long ago, Drew Lock don't seem like he's the guy. I think he's not really shown anything that's too promising. John Elway's not really calling the shots anymore, but I think they're gonna be eyeing a quarterback here. And if Trey Lance is on the board from North Dakota State, 6'4", 226 pounds, with that cannon, you go ahead and you take him and you see what you got, man. I think that's the guy. Sorry. With the 9th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select quarterback Trey Lance, North Dakota State.
All right. So Lambo takes Trey Lance with the 9th pick, and that leaves
I hope they do.
He's got to work on his accuracy, but he's got a big arm, man.
Yeah, he's only played 1 year at college.
So that leaves us with pick 10 with a lot of options available.
A whole lot of options.
Marcus knows who I want. I'm not gonna say that.
I think I have somebody different. So if you guys can just go down there and replace your name with the person that you want to pick at that spot.
Can we do like spades? Can we put a name in a possible?
Oh, I can change my name on here?
Did we lose somebody?
Mendoza. We lost Mendoza.
I'm fixing my camera right quick. It's being ridiculous.
All right, I'll take you off for a second. When you come back up, I'll bring you back. All right, so
got my name saved on my under my picture of who I'm taking.
I told you guys about this, and I can't even find it for me.
You just click on the little blue one.
Yeah.
Blue section. Oh, Marlo, Farley's already been drafted in this mock. So, Surtain is available. Parsons available.
I thought about throwing a wrench in there, but I won't do it.
Yeah, man. Y'all, what's crazy is Detroit, Carolina, Denver. If it falls a certain way, those teams need everything we need.
Yep.
So if you're a Cowboys fan
Yeah.
hoping for a cornerback, you're hoping that those quarterbacks are already gone.
Yeah.
Or you hope there's somebody's going to reach for a tackle and we have a surprise in the top 10 like a Darisaw going up there. But, man, it's going to be a good one here.
And I like
Bully.
Honestly, I think if the 3 quarterbacks go in the top 4,
right,
it's going to bring other teams up to try to get the Trey Lances and the Jones. Because, I mean, they're not worth the top 10, but once they start falling off, their value becomes more.
Yeah.
Kind of like that the draft of Mitchell Trubisky went number 2.
Yeah, I know. That's like the worst draft pick of all time now, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody panicked and started going quarterback.
I'm with Shane Odom here.
I was just looking at some of the picks. I knew somebody was going that spot.
Cowboys need a run stopper.
They do. There's not one this early.
Well, it depends on your.
Not necessarily.
There's someone that can stop the run. He may not be a big guy.
That's true.
Not
all
the
right,
big
so
fatty we're all looking for.
I think we all have our picks in, so we'll go back to.
Don't laugh when y'all see my screen.
Hit the noise.
You only do a one pick.
God.
You gotta change it.
The pick is in music. You gotta do the pick is in music.
Yeah.
Only choose one, Jeff.
I gotta change it.
Yeah, you gotta change it. You can only choose one.
Are you gonna pick first so I know if I can change it?
I'm putting everybody's up at the same time, and then I go across and we all talk about it.
Okay, all right. Let me change it then.
Yeah. I can see everybody's pick. I don't think you guys can. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say I can't see it.
Man.
Yeah.
It's changed.
We have more difference of opinion than I thought.
I'm sure Dominique already knows. I had a feeling he was going there. So
I like your pick, Marcus.
let's give it another 30 seconds. Everybody who's still with us in the chat, make sure you put your picks in the comments. Let us know who you think the Cowboys are going to pick right now. And I'll do a quick rundown of who's been taken.
Yeah,
The
put
first
it in,
pick-
guys.
The
I
first
think I want to change.
Lawrence. The second pick was Justin Fields. The third pick was Devonta Smith. Fourth pick was Zach Wilson. Fifth pick, Penei Sewell. Sixth pick, Jamar Chase. Seventh pick, Caleb Farley. Eighth pick, Kyle Pitts. And the ninth pick is Trey Lance. So that's everybody. Still a few names out there. I just throw a couple of them out because these are kind of who I think are the top guys left. Surtain, Parsons, Horn. A lot of people like Gregory Rousseau. I'm not on that bandwagon. A lot of people like Kwity Paye. I'm still kind of iffy on that one, but he's still up there pretty high. Mac Jones is still there. Yeah. That in production. Jones is still there for quarterback. For all you people who want to get rid of Dak. So we got a lot of options right here.
A lot of them.
Hey, before you reveal this needs to be prefaced with all these Cowboys fans out here who think this is a one and done draft where you have to get this at this first spot. My goodness, folks. And really, even if you didn't nail this pick and you didn't get it right, like a Taco Charlton.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Please don't call it.
It's not going to set our franchise back years. But here we go.
All right. So in the comments, it's it looks like Surtain has kind of taken the lead. Of course,
They
It's
love
the popular.
we got one guy saying Slater. Marlo said Surtain or Farley, but Farley's gone, so Surtain. Lamar in all caps with 3 exclamation points. Surtain.
Man,
Yeah, Lamar.
our dude ain't getting no love.
And it's actually, I guess you would consider it split because Jack Meeker has Slater, and then Brandon Boyce looks like a new name. So thank you for joining. He also put Rashawn Slater. And Brandon, wherever you're watching from, make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel, and also subscribe to the other person's YouTube. I'm Beloved City Cowboys, and Lambo is Cowboys, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and put these names up here and see what everybody picked.
Get me want to change mine already.
You can't change it now, Jeff.
Can't change it.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's a dream scenario.
Pick is in music. Pick is in music. Michael Parsons.
Way to go, Mendoza.
All right, so I see me and Lambo
Who
got
did you pick?
Michael Parsons.
Horn.
William. So let's go. Let's go. This, of course, Dominic.
I
The floor
see
is
you,
yours.
Jeff.
I see you, Mendoza.
I gotta let you go first. Tell us why you picked Rashawn Slater right here.
Wow, I'm still shocked after your picks. Okay, I love all these players. Okay, so let me stick to my guy.
All right.
Again, I think my guy can play left tackle in the league. I won't argue too much about the idea of starting him inside if you want to go ahead and let him compete against Connor Williams, who seems like the weak link that everybody wants to pick on, though he's been a solid, above average left guard in a NFL. And so you can still roll with him out there. But I just believe anybody you bring in who has that flexibility, they can compete with him. I truly think Slater can stick to that left tackle spot. And then you and I have talked about this, but everyone just wants to think Lyle Collins is going to be okay. And he may be the one you want to slide inside into guard to help prolong his career, because hips are no joke when it comes to offensive linemen. I just like everything about Slater. At one point, I had Slater as my offensive tackle 1 because of some of the concerns I have about Penei Sewell. But when I see Sewell's size, that length, his athletic ability, I can get over some of his red flags or flaws just to project with him. So I just have to take Slater here. I think he is in a desirable position that makes sense in the next year or two for the Cowboys, and it's a premium spot, and he is the best value on the board for me.
Okay.
So,
all right. So next we'll go with William Coulter, the voice of the people, because from the beginning of the show, everybody was saying, I hope we get Surtain. And I guess surprisingly to them, but not really for me, you're the only one that chose him. So let us know why you chose him.
I mean, quite simple. We're going to lose 3 corners this year. We need corner help. And the person that's most NFL ready to come in right now and help this team is Patrick Surtain.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he showed it for 4 years at Alabama.
Okay. Short and sweet. All right.
I have him ahead of Farley.
Okay.
I think Farley could be more explosive. Surtain is more ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
So come right in to help us. Him and Diggs back together.
Alabama boys back together.
Yeah.
All right.
I would
Mendoza,
like it. I'd be cool with it.
I would be too. Mendoza, let me know what you think about Horn. Then we'll go to Jeff.
Horn, Horn is my top-rated corner. I had him over Farley and Surtain personally. I just love the kid. That from just a little bit I've watched, that he's just a sticky cover guy, and I love those type of guys that are just in the hip pocket of the receivers and in the red zone. That to me is just a +1. You know, he's just locking down tight ends or whatever, and he's confident in his technique. He's a willing tackler. If you go watch that Auburn game, him against Seth Williams, and when they tried to run a screen and he just blows by Seth Williams and to blow up the screen, amazing. I love seeing that type of stuff from a cornerback. I'll take that all day.
Okay.
all right,
Joe.
Man.
What do you have to add on to what Mendoza just said about Horn?
Well, I mean, you like his size, 6'1", 230 something, I think, odd pounds. He's a press and press corner. I love corners with size to pair along with Diggs. We are going to lose a couple of corners.
Yeah.
I do think Cheeto comes back, and I would love to see what Westry brings, but for some odd reason, our coaching staff will not let Westry play. So I think we're going to bring in their Horn, pair him with Diggs, have our 2 boot corners. And just to throw this in the game, I don't want them to do this. I want us to go out and get somebody to actually bring it in. But we can bring Cheeto back, and they've always been torn with the idea of putting him in free safety. So, I mean, you have Brown there, you have Horn, you have Diggs, you have Woozy coming back. They got corner.
Wilson.
You got all those talent. And then, like I said, if they want to toy with the idea of putting a Woozy in free safety, maybe you can do it. And then, you know, and all else fails, he can come down and
That's
play.
something they might do.
Yeah.
All right, Lambo, you want to talk about why you picked Parsons?
Mainly just, man, I think he's a top 5 talent. You know, I posted, I think a couple weeks ago, as soon as I knew the season was over, I posted a picture of him on my page, and I said, "This is the guy I want." And a lot of people were like, "Yeah, good luck him getting to number 10." Well, here we are. Yep. He's right there. My guy's right there. LVE's injury history is starting to really concern me. Lee's out of here, and Jalen. I like Jalen, but I don't know. I mean, I think we could use help at linebacker. I really do.
I agree.
Basically, I mean, he opted out this past season, but the previous year he was the highest graded linebacker. And then you look at his, he had a 94.8 run defense grade. So out of 111 attempts, he only had 6 missed tackles. So, and that's an area we lacked in, is stopping the run. That guy's a force to be reckoned with, and he is no joke blitzing as well. So, okay. I just think he would be a big instant impact guy.
What position do you see him playing?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Inside.
What do you think, Marcus?
I would hope inside, but I feel like they're going to give Jalen a shot at will. So I think they may try to start him off at Sam if we run the 4-3, like I think we're going to run.
Sounds that way.
Let him cover curl flat, touch up the tight end, use his athleticism to rush off the edge like he's really good at doing. And for me, it's just that blinking light for me. Like, this guy athletically checks all the boxes. Stats look good. Like you talked about with LVE, we don't know where he's at. So if we have an injury, we can always put Jalen back at the middle spot, and we can put Parsons at that wheel spot and just let him use his athleticism. Looking at the way the team is going now, I really like this when we were talking about 3-4 because I liked him inside as a blitzer. But going to this 4-3, I really like Chad Surratt in the second round at that outside wheel spot. But I feel like we can get a better corner in the second than Chad Surratt. So for me, I'm going to take the better linebacker corner combination with Parsons and whoever falls to the second than Surratt/Horn with Surratt.
That's true when you're looking at who you think's going to be in there in a second and kind of evaluate that together.
If not for that, I would have taken Horn because I just think he checks all the boxes. Hips. When I look at corners, I look at hip, feet, and awareness. And I just feel like, and speed. And I feel like he has all that.
Yeah, my favorite game of his, you got to go back to 2019, very first game of the season, where they're playing, who was it? Oh, my God, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And, North Carolina got some dogs on the outside.
Yes.
And, man, they had him blitzing off the edge. He had a sack in that game. He had 2 forced fumbles, so it showed his toughness because you always want to know, is a dude a willing tackler on that outside? Yeah. And so I saw the physicality out of him. And then you speed up to this year, that Auburn game, which Mr. Mendoza brought up, that's the one where 4 passes defended. He was all over the place.
He was.
So,
yeah, he was.
Yeah, he also at one point was my cornerback 1 because of his traits, what he can do. And no matter if you want him off the ball or pressing. So
right.
He has great value. I don't think any of these are bad picks. Yeah.
I mean, does anybody see Dallas taking a D tackle in the second round?
In the second round?
Second or third, definitely.
The second or third, yes.
Yeah. I was hoping Barmore wouldn't have a good game.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
God, did he have a good game.
Oh, no, that'd be a dream right there.
Now he's probably first round.
He did really good in that game.
Yeah, after that, I think
honestly, D tackle is our biggest need.
All right, so let me pose a question to you guys. Let me pose a question to you guys. So, if Barmore, let's just throw this out there. What if he fall to the 20s, mid to late 20s, Do you think we take that bait and trade back into the first round and get him?
I don't like him that much.
I
Okay.
don't think they would do that.
Okay.
If it's Zavin Collins, I think they would do that, but not for Barmore.
I mean,
Well,
we have
just
next pick.
a D tackle period. Just a D tackle period.
Just a D tackle period. Not unless Dan Quinn falls in love with a certain one.
Yeah.
Just something to ask. That's
All right. So, question for all you guys. We'll start Mendoza and go around. Since we're talking about second round picks, Barmore's gone. Who's your favorite D tackle after that?
Well, I know the other day you mentioned Jay. I'm not sure how you say his last name. Tufele?
Yeah, Tufele from USC.
Okay. Yeah. I was looking more at him, and I would say him in the second round would be an excellent get.
Okay. All right. Dominique, what do you think? Who do you like at D tackle?
Oh man, I was over here trying to find my board. I keep shuffling, and then when Davis decided to go back to school, that hurt me.
Oh man, that hurt.
Yeah, that
definitely.
Man, I still think people are sliding on Wilson.
Marvin Wilson, Florida State.
Yeah,
I like Wilson's my guy, dude. But I'm telling you, he's hot and cold.
Yeah, if I had to pick, it being realistic on who will be there at 44, I would go ahead and say the USC kid, Jay Tufele. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
William, what about you? Any D tackles you like in the sec?
Just Barmore. I mean, I don't really know much about the other ones, you know.
Okay. Jeff, you got anybody you like?
I'm kind of with William. I hadn't really looked too far. I mean, I'm actually hoping that we get a D tackle in free agency. We're gonna probably draft one. I don't know how early we're gonna draft one, but the type of D tackle I want is somebody I feel like we can get in free agency. I just want a big, fat, run stopping, suck up 2 blocks type D tackle. So besides, like I said, I hadn't really looked at any. All
right, go ahead. Doug.
Yeah, I don't want any more of these little short guys like Woods. What do you call them? The little trash can. What do they call them? Trash can full of dirt.
Yeah.
Trash can full of dirt. That one. I want a big, massive guy who's long, tall. That's why I think Tufele is a good option. I think he can play the 3 and the 1 and give you some versatility there. So you have an interchangeable guy. But in talking about free agency, Dalvin Tomlinson out of New York, I think he'd be a great guy, but I think he's one of their cornerstone players on the inside. So I think they're going to try to re-sign him.
All right.
You think McCoy comes back?
Yeah.
Let me stop you right there, William, because Lambeau has to leave. So let me ask you guys this question. Do you have another 30 minutes to an hour to talk a little bit more football? Everybody?
Yeah, I can do 30 minutes.
All right. Yeah. So I think I may cut this one off and then come back with a new one just so we can reshare it since we're not talking draft. So till then, we're going to shut this thing down. Lambeau, let them know where they can find you at.
You guys can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon. Probably missing something at Cowboys Y'all, and on Instagram I'm Cowboys Y'all 88. Like Marcus always says, please make sure to subscribe to both pages on YouTube, hit that little bell, and thank you guys so much for tuning in.
All right, guys, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Bluff City Cowboys. Make sure you hit that bell on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. You can find me on Twitter at Bluff Cowboys. And be sure to tune in every Thursday night at 7:30 Central Standard Time for the Cowboy Zone. Next week, we're trying to determine what we're going to do with the offseason, but we're definitely going to have a good show for you guys. And we have at least 2 more mock drafts before we get into the actual draft. So I think that's it for right now. We're going to take a quick break, come back with a new live feed where we're going to talk a little bit more about the draft. We're going to talk about some of these coaching moves. And we're also going to talk about Kellen Moore and what we think he's going to do next. So, Lambeau, before we go, you got any closing words?
No, I just thanks, to all you guys for coming on, and, thanks for tuning in all the time and, chatting it up with us in the comments and everything. It was real fun, guys. It was good talking with you.
For sure.
All right.
Man. You had a good time.
We'll
See
be
you
back
guys.
in about 5 minutes. Make sure you guys look for that link, and we'll see you soon.
Mhm.